Okay, welcome back. This is Malakosa and you're watching episode 15 of the ManuFactory. We're here in our jungle mining age, just watching the moon set over here and dumping off some stuff. We've managed to do a little bit of dungeoneering. I didn't find a large number of dungeons. I did find some spider trees. But more importantly, I also found a couple of altars and an altar that has a logic matrix programmer in it that I've marked here. I estimated I basically what I did was I explored out 512 blocks in every direction, and that's the white markers you see there, just to try and get a feel of what I could find. So let us just clear out our inventory here. I found a large number of great wood trees that I chopped down, as well as some silverwood trees, and got a fair number of saplings. I'm just going to dump these off here, and then we're going to go and get that logic matrix programmer, and then we're going to put it to good use. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. The altar's right in front of us. Last time I was here, it was dark, and there were zombies and skeletons everywhere, and I barely was able to get in, look at the chest, and get out. And mark it. Marking's nice because when you mark, it actually pauses the game. But other than that, that's why. Plus, my inventory was full. So let's see if we can't. Now that it's daytime and there's nobody around, or at least there seems to be nobody around. Let's see if we can't get in there and empty out that chest and get our logic matrix programmer. Having this really, oh, there's one of them. There's one of those evil spawns already. Excellent. And we also got a shovel with the earth mover as well. That's great. Let's get in here and get out. All right. Oh, we're following him. We don't want to follow him. We want to go away. Ah, there's another one over there. Run away. Keep running. All right, I'll go back to our base, and it looks like we were successful in stealing that logic matrix programmer away from those evil mobs. Those mobs are from Mistcraft, of course. They're annoying right now for me because I have no way to fly, and I think this episode we're going to solve that. So let me just go back to my main base, get back to the overworld, and we'll be right back. Okay, on my way back here, I just happened to stumble into a fair number of pigs, so I'm just grabbing a couple of them. They'll come in handy when we need to create our farm. So I've got 2 of them here, and we'll just continue back, and I'll be right back once we're back in the overworld. Okay, we're back, and after coming back to the overworld and putting all of our stuff away that we got from our jungle mining adventure, I think we're finally ready to get sorting items. To do that, we need machine filters, and to do that, we're going to crystallize some Inverium drops. And I'll show you how to do this once I've got this all set up and running. It's very simple to do. It uses a couple of machines from Factorization. All we need is some stone to get started, and then I'll go through exactly what we did here. So basically what we're using here is we're using a heater in the center and surrounded by crystallizers. The way crystallizers work is they have several recipes, one of which is to create a, let me just show you the recipe right here. Basically it's used to create a logic matrix, which is what we need to create our machine filters. To do that, it just requires stone, a water bottle, and an Inverium drop. As you saw me craft the Inverium drop, the recipe is right there. It's just lead, gold, and diamonds. Now we put these into a crystallizer. The crystallizer is a machine from Factorization. There it is right there. It's a very simple machine. It just needs a stick, some string, and a cauldron. Cauldron's just simply iron in a U. And you'll notice I have created a total of 4 of these, and that is because to create the item we're after, which is of course the logic matrix, takes about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm not exactly sure how many minutes. Now, these crystallizers need to be heated by a heater. The heater is again another factorization machine. It's called a furnace heater, and it is created from some simple lead ingots and some insulated coils, which are created by lead surrounding some clay, which is 4 pieces of clay. Now, I did have to go down into the ocean and mine up some clay, and that's where my scuba tank came in real handy. Now, you'll notice one of the things you have to do is power the furnace heater using lead wire. In this case, the lead wire is very simple again. Again, from factorization, it's just 3 lead ingots gets you 8 pieces of wire. I made a lot of it, but I only needed 4 pieces. Now, the lead wire is being used to transmit power from these battery blocks. Now, battery blocks are pretty easy. They're just iron and lead surrounding a bottle of sulfuric acid, which is created from either gunpowder and coal in a water bottle, or coal sulfur, or sulfur dust in a water bottle. In this case, I had sulfur dust, so that's what I used. The battery blocks, as you can see, are crafted fully charged. And so I created 8 of them and just did a 2x2x2 cube here and hooked it up with wire. And we've just hidden the wire here, and that's what's powering this. So I've already crafted a set of these nice nifty logic matrices. So what we need those for is to craft our machine filters. And those are the last router upgrade that we need to really make our sorting happen. Now, the machine filter is, as you can see, a logic matrix identifier. So that's the first thing we need. So we just need some spider eyes, our logic matrix programmer, and our logic matrix. So let's get some spider eyes here. Where are my spider eyes? There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. So we'll just do, in this case, we want machine filter. Give us our logic matrix. And the nice thing about this is your programmer is not used up. So that programmer becomes just an item you carry around with. And our machine filter, again, we're going to require some dark iron, some silver, a book, and a redstone torch. I pretty much have all of that. There's our redstone torches. We need some books. Dark iron, and I believe silver. Oh, we're running out of dark iron here. Yeah, some silver. And last but not least, there we go, there's 2 machine filters. That'll be enough for now. So, what we need is our routers and all of our upgrades, thoroughness, bandwidth, ejector, and machine filter. I'll get my extra dimensional storage upgrades as well as my black ender chest for downstairs. So first thing I'm going to do is very simply, we're just going to upgrade all of our cobblestone barrels here. We're just going to upgrade those 4 so that they can store lots of cobblestone. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a router right above our black ender chest. Now, this router's responsibility will be to extract items out of the black ender chest and put them into the router directly above it, which is where we'll put our second router. The second router's purpose will be to take any items it receives and place them into these barrels. So, how do we do that? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to want upgrades on some of these barrels. We're certainly going to want bandwidth and speed on all of them. So let's just do that. The easiest way to do that is just hold your shift key down and right click. And you can see now when I click on the router, if I use this button here, I can see now it has bandwidth. And at any time you can use your delete key, I believe, to remove it. But we're not going to bother doing it. So, this bottom router is going to extract from the bottom sides, and it needs a machine filter, and in fact we're going to put speed on both of these as well to make them fast, and we're going to put thoroughness on both of these as well to make it so that they finish the first machine before they go on to the next machine. Now, both of these barrels will need machine filters, and the bottom barrel will also need an ejector. So, bottom router. Let's configure the bottom router first. So, we're going to extract from bottom sides, and we're going to only extract from the ender chest, and in fact, we're going to extract from the top side, from the ender chest. We got a speed boost, we got thoroughness, we got bandwidth, and we're going to eject to top. So this will extract all items from the ender chest, from the top of the ender chest, and it will eject them to the top, which will be to this guy. This guy is going to insert into top sides only barrels, speed boost, thoroughness, bandwidth, and we're done. So now, if I were to take, actually let's not use that, let's use some sand. If I were to put this sand in here, you'll notice it immediately disappears and goes into the first available barrel. If I were to take another block of sand and put it in, it goes right into that barrel. So now all we need to do is feed items into any black ender chest and we'll be good. And I notice there is a spider down here and he is really bothering me. And here comes my dog who is really stupid and injured himself. And if he falls down, I'm going to be really sad. Come on, puppy dog. Oh, puppy dog, where are you? Come here. Come on. All right, sit there. I'm going to sleep through the night so that no more monsters come up. Okay, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I just realized I ran out of dark iron, so I'm out here making some more. Just used our compressor to compress up some more blocks of iron, and we're just gonna light them up. Remember, you only need to use your wrath igniter once, it will spread. And be careful, don't click on the grass, because if you do, it'll turn all the grass into dirt and spread everywhere, which is not cool. Light all the trees on fire and just make a real mess. So you do want to be careful. We'll just let this burn. Put out all the fires as we spot them. Just because, don't light yourself on fire because that would be really dumb. And let's mine all this up. if you do it really fast, the grass doesn't even go away. That's really quite impressive. There is an automated way to make dark iron, of course. I'm not too interested in doing that right now because the first thing we want to do is automate the creation of all our vanilla blocks, which will be done shortly as soon as we can complete this sorting. So the reason I wanted to get more dark iron, of course, is because I wanted to finish making the rest of my machine filters. Okay, so there we go. So let's go downstairs and I will show you how this sorting system will work, seeing as how it's all set up here to really receive items. Ooh, if I don't be careful, I might fall and kill myself, and that would be bad. As you can see, our quarry is finished, and what we really want to do is we want to get all these items all nice and sorted. So the easiest thing to do right now, place our ender chest down. And one thing we can do is, if we put a router here, we can configure this router in such a way as to help us do all of the work for us. Now, do I want a machine filter? Sure, why not? Put a machine filter. Now, no. The router will be able to see any machines connected contiguously to it. So it's going to be able to see both of these diamond chests and all of these barrels, which is great. So what I want it to do is I want to extract from top sides, and as you can see, it's already going. And curiously enough, it is putting stuff into the ender chest, probably because I just want to do diamond, speed boost, thoroughness, bandwidth, and it's already ejecting to bottom. So it's ejecting all of the items down into the ender chest. And what has occurred is the system has now stopped, probably because these barrels are now completely misconfigured and have multiple barrels of the same item. So let's go up here and see. And as you can see, yes, our barrels are just all over the place with items. Yeah, there's multiple items here, multiple versions of redstone, and also it's not communicating with these barrels, and I will show you why. The reason it's not communicating with these barrels is because these barrels aren't connected to these barrels by any machines. And so the easiest way to fix that, I have found, is by putting just a barrel in the corner with a barrel in it. Assuming I can get up here. Let me just do this here. We'll dig down here. And I'm just going to knock this barrel out. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a barrel right here. And as you can see, it got filled immediately with items, which is not cool. And there we go. We've got a barrel with a barrel in it. Now that barrel is never going to get filled, so we can just bury it. And now you'll see that these barrels are now being filled. In fact, every now and then you'll see a little bit of purple. And that little purple spark is actually the routers doing their thing, moving items around. So we can just put this back in. And what I will do now, and I'll do this off camera, is I will reorganize all of these barrels so that they store items more efficiently. So I'll be right back once that's done. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, we've reconfigured our barrels to be a little bit more organized. So basically what I've done is I've put all the blocks on this wall with dirt and cobble and sand and glass. Put our coal here, flint. Also put some wood in here because we might encounter some dungeons while we're quarrying, and that's where we'll get their wood. organized all of our crystals and shards and various gemstones and precious dusts and so forth and so on. I also put in the stone and I want to say marbled both princesses and drones because they will be encountered. We've got our quartz crystals, and then all of our minerals, our various ores, lead, aluminum, tin, yada yada yada, cinnabar, even some bauxite just in case we encounter that, unlikely where we are. Also put in some uranium and some string again for dungeons. This won't catch everything. So every now and then we'll have to come back and check our ender chest to see if it's full, and if it's full, chances are it's because this router here, or more importantly this router, is stuck on an item that isn't represented in our barrels. And that's where we'll either have to choose what to do with that item or add another barrel to capture it. So let's go over here, and I did take our ender chest from downstairs, and let's get it back, and let's put it back so that this system will again empty out everything from downstairs, and that will happen really quickly. So as you can see, I took the ender chest away, and as soon as I put it back in, it's going to start filling up with stuff. And that diamond chest is empty, and so is that one. And so now what we can do is we can configure this to hit the barrels. And so now you'll see, and that's another thing. It needs to extract. When extracting from barrels, it needs to extract from the bottom. Or anywhere. From bottom sides works, and as you can see, it's just blowing through all of these barrels, and the thoroughness will make it do each one in turn. And once these barrels are empty, which interestingly enough looks like just happened, I find that hard to believe that it would have just filled up with dirt, but it looks like it's done exactly that. So let's take these barrels away because we can probably use their dimensional upgrades and go upstairs and see what's going on. No. Yeah, it's definitely, for some reason, stuck on dirt. Go figure. How can it be stuck on dirt? It should know where to put dirt. That's really quite strange. Why would that not work? Okay, I will be right back once I figure that out. Okay, so it turns out it wasn't stuck on dirt. It was actually stuck on gravel because we already had 64 stacks of gravel in our barrel. And so simply applying an extra dimensional upgrade to the barrel solved that problem, and now the system's going. And basically it's draining all of that cobblestone from downstairs and placing it in these 4 barrels up here. So that's what's going on. Eventually what we'll be able to do is, remember all that cobblestone in our jungle mining age and also over by our farm? Yeah, well, oh, and in our twilight mine as well for that matter. Well, we'll be able to use that router downstairs plus our ender chest to very quickly transfer it up here. Now probably what will happen is I'll have to extend my cobble barrels out this way, or maybe down, I'm not sure, or maybe up, I don't know. But we definitely will end up with a large amount of barrels for cobblestone. So as you can see, it's running full tilt, and so now we're going to go downstairs, we're going to take a look, and then what we're going to do is we're probably going to reposition our quarry and get our quarry back up and running on another quadrant. So yeah, as you can see, there it is there, slowly draining the cobblestone out of this barrel. We'll no longer need to use such a complicated system for storing our items. We'll just be able to have this ender chest right above the quarry, and all of this tubes and stuff all gone. In fact, we can just destroy these tubes right now. In fact, I'm wondering, how is it finding those barrels? Oh, you know what? Interestingly enough, I did not know this, but obviously the routers can find barrels via pipes. So that's an interesting new thing that I did not know. That must be the way it's going. So I won't destroy these pipes immediately, but I will destroy these barrels. So I'll be right back once it's done transferring all these items. And I guess we can reconfigure our quarry off camera, because you probably... Well, we'll destroy the quarry right now, and I'll talk about something right now. You'll notice the quarry did create all of this orange structure to help the arm, facilitate the arm moving. And you'll notice already, as soon as I have destroyed the quarry, all of these blocks will eventually disappear, all of this orange material. So don't worry too much about cleaning it up. You're just wasting your time. So I'll be right back, and we'll have our quarry back up and running and reconfigured to do another area. Okay, we're back, and all those barrels got emptied out, and we've cleared out a fair space for our new quarry positioning. I've dug a tunnel down right in front of us and put a landmark at the end of that tunnel. I also put a landmark way over there in that corner, and here's our final landmark, and there's the area that we're going to mine out now. So let's put our quarry down, and bingo bango bongo. And now all we need to do is hook it up to some power, and hopefully, oh, go figure. That does figure. Alright, I'm going to have to go upstairs and get more conduit. Well, while we do that, we can put our ender chest right down in front of our quarry, but let's go upstairs and get some more conduit, because I know I am missing a piece. I need at least one piece. I really need to fix these ladders too, because that was really hard. Okay, up we go. Man, little sheeps. Oh. And that's not the right chest, and that is, and now we have some conduit. And actually, while we're up here, I'm just going to turn these engines on, because hey, why not? One of these days, I am going to kill myself falling down that. But not today! I'm just going to put some cobbles down here, and let's get some conduit running. And how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Okay. We can do that. Yeah. That works. Ah! I fell into the water. That's not good. It's a good thing it's water and not something really dangerous like, oh, I don't know, acid, maybe. That would be a kind of a cool liquid. I wonder if we can do that. I'll have to look that up. Alright, let's climb back up here and let's get this done properly and stop fooling around, falling everywhere. Like I say, I really need to make this place a lot safer. Alright. And hopefully, I'm sure, our quarry is now running. Blue is, I want to say, output? Maybe? No. Blue is input. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure this quarry is running. The way to check would be to go down to one of the corners, and actually, yeah, this corner down here. That's another thing you should note. Go down to the corners of your quarry because you can get your... Oh no! Oh my. We're gonna have water everywhere when this quarry is done, I just know it. Well, I'm sure the quarry is running, and it looks like it's about time to go. This episode we managed to get our sorting system finally sorted out and running and nicely configured, as well as locate a logic matrix programmer. Yay! We also repositioned our quarry, and it's now running quite efficiently. Next episode we'll look at arming ourselves, because our armor is really sad. I mean, look at this. I mean, okay, yeah, it's enchanted, but really, running around with iron armor, that's not very effective. I really want to fly. I think that'll be really helpful, especially in operating in this huge area. I don't know, it's really hard to see, but this is only going to be 1/4 of our total factory. So you can imagine when this whole area is mined out, not only are we going to have a ton of resources to start building our actual factory complex, but it is going to be huge and deep, and that's going to be really cool. I hope you've enjoyed watching this episode and learned something new. Please like, subscribe, and leave any comments or suggestions you may have. This has been episode 15 of the ManuFactory with ManuFactory, and I'm signing out.